Hello and welcome back. Today I'm gonna show you a few ways that you can create display alphabets, display letters. If you did not see it, I have a video explaining the four main types of letters and alphabets and fonts that you can use in any design or lettering project. Go check it out. But one of these alphabets is the display alphabet, which is also called the decorative alphabet or the creative alphabet. And these types of letters, they are really pieces of art individually because they are really drawn, and whoever draws them makes use of artistic elements to make the letter go beyond the text message and become a drawing, a visual representation of something. So we're gonna see a few ways that you can create this effect in your letters. Let's start with a simple one, very easy one, and it's the letter A. So I'm gonna draw here a letter A simple A, and I'm gonna make it a 3D letter. To do that, I just create these parallel lines in every little terminal and going in the same direction, and then I can connect them, and in the end you're gonna have a 3D letter, and you can do that for every other letter. Another way to give our letters a little more personality is playing with shapes and objects. For example, I can draw a bee like if it was a piece of ribbon or a piece of rope or anything like that. So if, for example, I create those lines to kind of show an effect as if I am bending a ribbon or something like that, I can create a new letter with a completely unique style. We can also play with objects and actually drawings to create some things that resemble a letter but are not exactly a letter, just to give a little more personality to some piece. So let's say the letter C, it has a fairly rounded shape. One of the instances I've used it was to create a Pac-Man shaped C. So that's a way to introduce a non-textual element on your letterings, but people recognize it if it's in the middle of a word. Let's say you have a word that has a C in it, and the theme of your lettering is a game theme or a retro something. You can use this example here, and people will understand that that letter is a C because it's gonna be in a context of other letters creating a word, and at the same time you're gonna give some personality to your drawing, to your lettering. So that's something I like to do. Something else you can do is simply decorating the letter in its simple form. So here we have a D, a very simple D, and I can do something that I've done in the past, that is creating a puzzle inside it, just like so, and you can kind of vary the shape and the direction of the pieces so that you create a puzzle D. You can also play with drawings itself. So for example, if I want to draw an E, let me draw some very squiggly shaped rectangles, and you can see that I'm not really being careful here. I just wanna to resemble the shapes of a rectangle, and you're gonna see what I'm gonna do with it. So I'm gonna give it some dimension, like if it was a 3D piece, similar to what I did with the A, just with a very irregular shape, and it starts to taking place. It already looked like an E, but I'm just giving it a drawing style, a illustrated style, and I'm gonna put some elements here, kind of nails, and give it some lines here and there to kind of fake the feeling of a wood ladder. So it's like you picked up some pieces and kind of put them together to form a ladder. And here you have the letter E. Let's do something else. Oh, one letter that I really liked to do and that kind of people loved on my social media was an F that I shaped like a cat, which was very unusual. It required a lot of creativity to me to kind of see it and find it. I'm gonna put a simpler version here than what I did on social media, but I think you're gonna appreciate the funny bit where it looks like a cat. So it was kind of like this. You can see it has the shape of an F, but it's a cat upside down. So it's very illustrative and it's very cute actually. You can play with objects and shape them in the format of your letter. For example, I can draw a balloon G, and since a balloon full is full of air, the object full of air, you can really exaggerate on the shapes and put some indications that it's a balloon. So there you have another example. And this is really endless what you can do with those letters. You can really create anything. So let me see if I can find a quick example for the H. Okay, so yeah, I have an idea here. I'm going to start with a simple H. And you can see that you can do that even with simple letters. You first draw your letters and you start decorating it to find something. So I'm going to put some wings in it. And then we just created an angel H. See, that was fairly easy, quite nice. I'm just giving you a few examples here so you can try for your own and have your own ideas. I'm gonna do a few more. For example, we can do a pencil shaped eye, and we're using the same technique that we used on the C with the Pac-Man. We just creating an object that kind of resembles a letter, and in the context of a lettering piece of a word of a phrase, it's gonna stand out and nobody's gonna really be confused by what it is. So there you have it. You can really, actually, you can change the shape of objects to fit your letters. So another instance, I had these J shaped like a drink. So I kind of created the feeling that it was a drink, which is not really hard, as you can see. Uh, but it's not really a drink, it's not a cup, but it gives the feeling of being one. So it's a really nice addition to your lettering. And you don't have to be overly creative or get scared by trying to develop a concept for a letter. And I'm gonna give you an example right now. So for example, this K right here, I'm gonna give it first a kind of 3D shape, but I'm gonna put some more details to give it a different personality. It's a little bit round, so it's already different from the 3DA that we created, and we can add some more decorations. You don't have to stop there. So for example, I can kind of put a heart in here as if it was a hole on the letter. So I have to also replicate that 3D effect of the letter in here somehow. And there you have another letter. Let's do now the L, and let's do it shaped like a little monster. So a little furry monster. That's also another example that I actually created at some point. And you can really make it your own. We can play with the letter M. I'm gonna try to do that really quickly here. I hope you already can see what I'm going for here. See, it's a roller coaster. Quite nice, right? Let's do a few more. For the N, there was once when I created a object that is shaped like a N. And you can really look around and see if you can find some inspiration through your letters. So this is one of those compass. I don't know if that's how they are called. For the letter O, it's quite easy. There are a lot of rounded shapes. You can draw a globe, you can draw a balloon, a donut, a vinyl disc. You can really draw anything. So let's do the globe thing. I'm being really quickly here, but you can take your time to make it look a lot better. And I'm gonna show you more examples. They were pre-made in just a few instances. So you can see how creative you can get with those letters. And I'm not gonna do the whole alphabet because it's gonna take us a lot of time to finish it. But I think you get the idea. And now I'm gonna show you something more. I have actually this handmade notebook that I created to make letter shapes in various forms. So you have here, it was actually a challenge, the 16 types of letter challenge. And in this challenge, you're supposed to, in a set amount of time, create 16 types of letters. And I just did that. So I would put my clock on and draw 16 types of A's and B's and C's and so on. But of course, one at a time, because try to do more than one letter at once, it's gonna break you. The first four are fairly easy to think of, but when you start getting to the last letters, you start losing ideas. And that's the great thing about this exercise, is that it forces you to think more, to be more creative. It's quite nice. So you can see um, various amounts of letters here: a machine type letter, a monster type, a unicorn type, a kind of cupcake type, cake type, a ribbon type. I have some, I see the wood type that I showed you on our example here, very similar to this, but of course this one are better drawn than what I did right here. First, because I used a thinner fine liner in this one. I believe I used a 0.1 here, and this one that we were using earlier in the video is 0.4. And I took a little bit more time than what I took here. I was really quickly here. And then we have B's and C's here. I'm just gonna flip through this so that you can have an idea of how many things you can do here. I might call attention to some that are pretty interesting. You can play with cursive styles, serifs and sans serifs. I have more decorative types here because my purpose with this challenge was to get more creative, but I do have some serifs and sans serifs here and there. You see how I played with the shape of the hand. I have pizza that ended up half bad drawn, but a moon, wall shaped like a D. I have a present, a robot, a minion looking, a cactus, another ice cream type of thing, and even elephant. And here we have the F, and look, my little guy is here, and you just can play around. I played around here with a wire and a plug, and various other styles, some more decorated in the letter and some more decorated in the drawing part. See, a little house, a road, a papyrus paper, something, a cactus, a ladder, a mermaid. And some of them are really simple. I just gave like a little swoosh here and a crown. I put some kind of drops, like if the letter was melting here. And some I just went ahead and tried to make some shape that resembled the letter so that I could get through the challenge. There are some more here with the L and the M, another cat in here, a web, a spider web there, some more. You see the O, I really went for the drawing thing and decorated a lot of them. And I have every letter of the alphabet in this notebook. I even have some blank pages because I did double the pages because I want to come back and do this challenge again, and I might do that soon. But here I have the alphabet ones for each letter, and the Z was not that much creative, but I tried to mess around with some shapes. So there you have it, a full guide on how to create some simple and even some complex type of display letters to spice up your lettering and creating more interesting pieces. I hope you liked it. Comment below and tag me on your work on social media so I can see how you're doing and how you're using my tips. I see you next time. Bye.